Hey guys, it's Brie, and today we're going to do another story time with Brie, which is kind of a throwback because I don't remember the last time I did this, and I forget how many I've done. And I think the last one was when I was still filming on my iPhone 4S, and that is long gone. But yeah, we're doing another story time with Brie, and let's just see how this goes. So my first story is a story about this fall. So I went to a Bison's baseball game with my grandpa, my aunt, my uncle, my two good friends, and wow, there's kind of people. But this ball, he hit it foul, so it went straight up in the air, like super high, so we couldn't even see it, and then it came down, maybe 2 rows behind me, and it broke one of the cup holders on the chair and went down on the ground, and the ball was bouncing around and people were trying to get it. And then a guy who was sitting diagonally behind me, it rolled in front of his feet, and I reached for it, but he picked it up and he handed it right to me. But the funny part about it is he handed it to me instead of handing it to his girlfriend that he was sitting with. And I guess I didn't hear her, but she was saying stuff to him why didn't you give me the ball? And he's like, if there's another one, I'll give it to you. That's what my friends were saying. They heard, and I was hiding the ball because I thought all these kids that were looking for it on this side of me were gonna try to steal it. So I was hiding it. I was like, oh my god, I got the ball! I was so excited. And these kids were looking for it. Even my grandpa was trying to help them. So I was like, ha, ha. And I showed him I had it, and he's like, she's got it. And I didn't want these kids to steal it, so I was hiding it. It was just, it was funny. This next story is one of the best things that's ever happened, but also one of the scariest. So around me there's this creek, it's called 18 Mile Creek, and me and my friends were, we had one of those tubes, you know when people go boating, tubing, and we took one of those tubes down on the creek and we were riding it, her father dropped us off down the road and we were taking the creek back to her house, kind of, that area, and so we were riding it down the creek, and it got really rough. It was a rough patch, and there was a rock we went over. So I was whoo, and I fell off, and I rolled off, and I had nachos in my hand, and my shoes fell off, and I threw my shoes at them so they would keep my shoes, and they kept going down the creek, and they went super fast without me, and I was walking down the creek gonna cry. I was oh my god, this is so scary. I'm alone in the creek, and it's I was scared a fisherman or something was gonna be there and see me, and I was it was so embarrassing. I was wearing a tank top and a bathing suit, and didn't even look like I had pants on, and they're just going down the creek, and I asked them if they could figure out a way to stop, so they ended up stopping, walking back with the tube and everything, and there's a backpack and all their phones and stuff, and it was one of the scariest things, but it was hilarious, and I'm so thankful they walked back because I was gonna cry and I didn't want to walk across the creek. Oh, so they ended up on this side of the creek, and I was on this side of the creek, and I was scared to walk across because first off, there were a lot of really sharp rocks in the area I was, but the creek was moving so fast in the middle, there were no rocks sitting there that were sharp, which doesn't make sense, but I was scared to walk across because it was hurting my feet so bad in the little area I was. But I ended up walking down the creek a little bit, and then when I got back with them, we stayed on the tube. There are no nachos left. I didn't even get to eat a nacho. And then we kept going down the creek for a little bit. We found a swing, and it was really muddy, and I don't know, it was just a really good time. And then we were almost back where her dad was meeting us, and we tipped over on this tube, and a ton of people in our grade, not a ton, it was a few people in our grade and from our school were sitting there, and all 3 of us fell off the tube, and I saved the tube, and it was just, I don't know, they watched us fall, and it was just kind of funny. That was a really good day. Now, you guys are going to think I'm crazy for this, but there's this giant moth, and I have pictures of it. It's this big moth that's in my house, and I've seen it twice already, and I keep waiting for it to come back. Okay, the first time I found it, it was 3 in the morning, and I was oh my god, this is the biggest moth I ever saw. So first, it was on this thing. It was on this lamp right here, and then it ended up hiding back there, and I caught it, and you're also going to think I'm crazy, but I caught it in this cap with this postcard, and that is the moth dust on the back of it. So I caught it, and I tried to keep it there all night, and then I went to go down to go to sleep, and I heard it pushing this thing escaping, but for a while I was watching it. I didn't think it was strong enough to push this because I was watching it, and it just didn't look like it could push it. And then maybe, okay, I went to my friend's house a couple nights. I didn't see the moth, whatever, because I was not at my house. So I came back to my house, and then I was laying in my bed, and I heard some noise, and I was looking around what is that noise? I was scared. It's the moth flying around my room right there, and I watched it, and then I watched it fly all the way around my bed, out my door. This moth is teasing me, and I'm just waiting for it to come back so I could kill it. I tried to save it and let it free outside, but what does it do? Escape on its own and then come back and tease me a couple nights later, and I'm very upset about it because I just want to find this moth. For real, I sound like a crazy person, but seriously, imagine like catching something, about to let it free the next morning, being a good person, and then it's gone, and then it comes back and teases you. Like, what? And it is a pretty big moth. I sound crazy. Alright, the fourth and final story is one time I ripped my pants getting out of my own bed. That's basically it. The end. Just kidding. My sister was on my bed, and like we're watching Netflix or something on my bed, like just hanging out, being good sisters. It wasn't this bed, it was at my aunt's house, and I like got off the bed to pick something up, and my bed is probably like, it's a couple feet high. Probably 3 feet high, so I have to lift my leg to get on and push myself up. So I put my leg on to push myself up, and one foot was on the bed, one foot was on the ground, and I was like, oh my god. And oh gosh, these are my favorite jeans. They just fit me so good, and I just love those jeans, and now they're ripped. Gosh, it's so sad. But I was just getting on the bed, I like lifted myself up, and then I heard shh, and like ripped pants right there, and my sister's laughing so hard. I took off the pants and put shorts on, and I took a picture. I was like, the rip had to be like this wide. Okay, I'm just gonna give an example. Like my legs this wide, the rip was like this wide. It was like really big rip. Like I couldn't even hide it, and they're just my favorite jeans, and it's so sad. But you know, it's good. I bought 2 of those jeans because I like them so much, so I'm not missing that much. But like, it was my favorite of those 2 pairs too, so I don't know, they're the same exact pants, but like one was better than the other. That sounds pretty weird, but it's true. You know it. Anyways, if you like this story time with Brie, give it a big thumbs up. See you next Sunday, and bye guys.